As a makeup artist, you work with various people, actors, actresses, athletes, TV personalities, brides to be, and so many more to help them look and feel their very best. And it also gives them maybe a different identity that they didn't know they had and see themselves differently. Is there a specific situation that you've been through that made you see yourself differently?
Ooh.
Have you ever had like a nightmare client where it just nothing worked?
It was a very notable politician that I did not care for.
Wait, I don't want to get you in trouble with the government, or we don't need helicopters
Yeah, we don't
following you home or anything like that. You quit college, like, boom,
instantly.
without even being accepted at this other school.
Yeah.
That's ballsy. If I offend you by asking this, just either slap me or don't answer, or but I'm going to explain why I'm asking you this. Were you planned?
I started dating this man. It was one of those like love at first sight type deals. And turns out that's not the case at all.
So you mentioned your parents weren't the parents that you were hoping they would be as you grew up. When did you realize that that was the case?
Growing up, I don't think you always realize that like your normal is not normal. I think you only realize that whenever you get into a different environment and you're like, hold on.
Welcome to the Barbells and Bourbon podcast. As ChatGPT tells me, it's Joe Rogan meets Dr. Phil. I am your big, bald, bearded, barbell lifting, bourbon drinking son of a bitch, Sean. And joining me today is Christalee Lema.
Thanks for having me.
That's so funny. The way what I call myself.
That was way more creative than I expected.
Thank you. I don't have something ready to call you. I should have prepared.
Oh no, am I supposed to have that?
No,
Okay.
that was not part of your homework. Well, Christalee, welcome to our home.
Thanks.
I'm excited to have you. We've had to juggle the schedules a few times,
Yeah.
but we've made it on a weeknight, which is very unusual. But you got to do what you got to do. Christalee, as a makeup artist, you work with various people, actors, actresses, athletes, TV personalities, brides to be, and so many more to help them look and feel their very best, maybe even for just a single day.
Yeah.
And it also gives them maybe a different identity that they didn't know they had and see themselves
Yeah.
differently. Is there a specific situation that you've been through that made you see yourself differently?
Ooh, I think there's plenty. One was definitely going through makeup school because that was the first time that I actually wore a full face of makeup,
Okay.
which sounds ridiculous.
Sounds ironic.
But also, I had, 12 other classmates, and that's the first time that they all get to put their input on how they see me. And I was like, oh, so all the things that I tell myself are maybe not true, or other people see me differently. And so seeing the way that other people would do my makeup, or the way I was taught to do makeup, or, anything just within my realm of going to school, I was like, I'm figuring out who I am.
Yeah.
And that was kind of incredible.
You probably didn't realize that that was going to be part of your
no.
career or your journey in makeup, right?
Not at all.
It was to pay the bills.
It was. And
That's
then
how
I
most
was like,
jobs start.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I might be okay at this.
Yeah. I've never worn makeup. I know a lot of men do for various TV roles and such. This is as natural as you get. So, but I know makeup can make people feel very differently, more confident,
Yeah.
more secure, maybe a different vision of or view of themselves,
Yeah.
or maybe give them a little self-control. What did it do for you?
Ooh. I think that depends on the day. So some days I don't want to wear makeup because I'm like, I want to feel like me at my core. And then other days I'm like, I'm feeling myself.
Yeah.
I want to accentuate my eyes because I really like my eyes today, or I am really liking my lips or a certain feature, and I feel like over time I've come to like features on myself more. I think as you do when you just age, you're like, okay, this is who I am. And so wearing makeup, it really depends on the day. I'll be like, I really want my eyes to pop today because I know I can smile with my eyes. Or, for example, I just did. My boyfriend and I went to. It's called the Asylum Ball in West Virginia, and I turned us both into vampires, and
Nice.
it was so much fun because it was one of the times in the last like year and a half that I've had time to do my own makeup for Halloween, like something other than beauty, and I was like, oh.
I'm going to have fun with
Oh,
this.
I'm gonna get into character today.
Yeah.
And so I think it really depends on the day of what it does for me.
Yeah. And look, this show isn't only going to be about makeup and how to apply makeup and different looks and whatever. But, it is what you do.
Yeah.
And I do want to highlight that and let you talk about that because it is your passion.
Yeah.
But I want to dig a little bit deeper. I want to know who you are and what got you into makeup. And, again, you said how it makes you feel. How does it make the other people feel that you worked on? And is it like group therapy sessions when you're doing makeup and like all of the things? Because
Yeah.
let's face it, this is like a therapy session.
For sure.
Right? As I introed Joe Rogan meets Dr. Phil. And I never thought that that was going to be the case. Yeah. But yeah, you're a therapist for an hour or two.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I have made best friends with multiple clients. I like joke about it. I'm like, I am not getting paid enough because I'm doing your hair and makeup, but I also just listened to your entire life story and gave you feedback when you asked for it.
Yeah. Right.
But it's truly like something magical when someone sits in your chair and you just ask them like, okay, how do you want to feel with this? Because that is one of the questions that I ask them. And by the end of it, I'm like, oh, and tell your mom that I said I can't wait to meet her on the wedding day. And like your best friend, she's going to look great. And like, it's just, you just connect.
Yeah.
And it is something, again, just magical.
And I think that's the case because, and especially in this day and age, how many times are you sitting down talking to someone for a few hours without distraction?
Other than doing a client or this, it
doesn't
never.
happen.
Yeah.
Even with our significant others
Yeah.
or our children, you're not undistracted for extended periods of time anymore at all. 15, 20 minutes here and there, maybe. Or, if your child's in trouble, you have like the parent meeting in their bedroom and you have the talk,
Like,
which can
guys.
go a little longer than 15 minutes. But yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why that connection comes
Yeah.
on so quickly.
Yeah, it definitely does. That's one of my favorite parts of the job.
Yeah.
And that's something that I didn't ever really expect to be part of the job. I got into it mostly because, like, one, I loved playing with makeup, and it was just a form of art, and I've always done some form of art my entire life. So when I was like, oh, I want to do makeup because it's basically a walking billboard. It's basically a walking piece of art or, whatever it was. I never took into consideration that, like, all of these people are now my friends.
Yeah.
And then I get to watch them, like, get married and have babies, and then I do their family photos, and it's just a whole thing I never expected.
Well, you're part of, like I said, one of the most important days of their life
Oh.
in many cases, right? And to
Yeah.
have that memory and that experience, you
Yeah.
should feel very special about that.
I honestly, I don't take it lightly.
Good.
Because they have a million people to choose from, and especially like the morning of, like, you're with all of your favorite people. You're with your parents, your best friend, your sisters, your cousins, whoever your immediate circle is that you were like, this is the energies that I need around me on my biggest day. And then I get to be there. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's great.
You feel honored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
definitely
it would
do.
make me feel honored if you would hit that subscribe button and that like button, because 80% of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed. And it's a very easy click. It would really help me. It would help all of my future guests. And we are going to move on. I had to get that out.
You heard the man.
Do it. So, Christalee, again, you do makeup, but that doesn't define who you are. And that's what I want to get to know.
I'm ready.
And your life story is going to inspire somebody. It's going to motivate somebody. you're going to touch somebody out there that might be dealing with something that you've been through in life.
I hope so.
I guarantee it, which is why you're going to like the video. So where did you grow up?
I was about an hour north of Pittsburgh in like the Slippery Rock, Portersville area. So out in the middle of the country.
In the sticks.
Definitely. Definitely in the sticks.
Isn't it funny how, like, Pittsburgh's a large city, but you can travel 15 miles in any direction and be in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It really is.
Yeah. But then as you get closer to the city, it's just like concrete jungle.
Really different. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I kind of try to find that happy medium. I've been looking for it.
So what's family life like for you in the sticks?
So I had a rough relationship with my parents, to say the least. They're very different people than I would have hoped they would be growing up. I don't have any connection with them now, which is a whole other story in itself. Went complete no contact about 4 years ago. But growing up there, I have two younger sisters. One is 3 years younger than me, and she is my best friend. Her and I are like copy paste versions of each other. Her and I got along great. Any good memory that I have from growing up there, it's with her.
Nice.
And then our youngest sister, who came along 10 years after me, she's a treat.
Nice way to put
She's
it.
a treat. She fits in better with my parents than she does with my middle sister and I. So it was a time growing up.
So are you speaking with your younger sister younger sister?
So Lexi, the middle one, I talk to almost every day.
Yeah.
She's a very busy woman, so sometimes it's hard to get a hold of her. But the youngest one, Bailey, on and off. She's still very early 20s and like kind of has that early 20s attitude.
Different
So I'm
mentality. Yeah.
like, okay, when you turn 30, we'll reassess.
Yeah, it's hard to connect,
Yeah.
right? Because you're living completely different generations.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And so by the time that she was like basically a functioning human, like 9 or 10, I was already out of the house. So she has a much better connection with my middle sister than she does with me. So that adds to the disconnect. But I'm like, I'm always here, but we'll loop back around.
We'll let time take its
Yeah.
role here, and
Yeah.
eventually maybe you guys will
Yeah.
meet in the middle.
Hope so.
Hope so too. Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to see family members not speak. And
Yeah.
again, I've had a lot of guests who don't speak to sisters and brothers and parents at all.
I mean, I think we're also from that generation or like that era where they're like, well, family is family and you can't cut them off. And I'm like, but you maybe should sometimes. And that was a really tough thing for me to figure out. And because I'm the oldest sister, I had to kind of like lead the way on that. So Lexi, my middle sister, again, who's more like me than my parents, she struggles with that a lot of like, they're not good for my mental health. It never does anything good for me whenever I reach out to them. Like, it's always they want something from me. And I'm like, you gotta come off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Let's face it, toxic relationships don't discriminate. Typically, it's just a friend
Yeah.
that is making you a bad person.
Yeah.
But to your point, it could be family too.
Yeah, that's been a really like hard lesson, I think, both for her and me, because I'm like, if I tell her to do this and I'm wrong, I'm in big trouble. Like, I'm supposed to be setting the example.
Yeah.
But so far, that has been good advice, and it's been good for all of our mental health. So
Yeah.
tough, but a good choice.
Yeah. So you mentioned your parents weren't the parents that you were hoping they would be as you grew
Yeah.
up. When did you realize that that was the case?
So the answer for that is going to be, I think, in a few different parts. So growing up, I don't think you always realize that like your normal is not normal. I think you only realize that whenever you get into a different environment and you're like, hold on, something's different here.
It's not how things go in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like growing up, again, like being in the middle of nowhere, like even though I went to school and like was around other people, we lived in like on a back road, on a back road, on a back road. So I couldn't just like run down the street and hang out with somebody. So it was very isolated. And anytime there was an argument in our house or whatever, like we just went to our room. Like our family just didn't really talk to each other. We never sat down and talked. It was, we argued and that was that. Like, and so I thought that this is going to sound really stupid, but I thought that all adults were just mean. I thought you just became mean when you got older.
Old and cranky.
Yeah. Like I thought that was normal. And then whenever I got a little bit older, like into my teens, and I was able to like just kind of be on my own and like go to friends' houses and, you know, had more control over like how I get places, I was like, well, your mom isn't yelling at us, or like your mom just ordered us pizza, or like asked how my day was, or like all of these things. And I was like, how come my mom doesn't do that?
Yeah.
And so it was just this weird, like, oh, like these things started to slowly happen. And then I think my first big, like, aha moment for this was when I was going to Edinburgh. I went to graphic design school first. And on move-in day, you see all these families and, like, you know, they're crying and they're hugging and they're like, oh, like, call us and come home for Christmas. And I was like, please get the fuck out of my room. I didn't say that, but just like I remember being like, you are stressing me out. Like, when is this over?
Wow.
And I just was like, this is, no one else here is having the experience that I am. And then I lived with three other girls in like one of those like suite dorms, and seeing how their parents would like drop in and be like, here, I added money for your groceries, or I did this, or I did that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that is not my experience at all.
Did that create resentment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of resentment. I think it was resentment at first. And then I started to just kind of automatically realize, like, they're just not going to be that person. Like, that's not the parents that I have. Like, they're not going to automatically change and be like, oh my gosh, maybe because she's away now, like, we should be nicer to her so she calls. Like, it just was, okay, bye. And so I think my resentment went from just that to, okay, well, that's not what I'm getting. So how do I reframe this? So
Do they treat your other sisters the same way?
they play this really interesting game where I'm always the black sheep because I'm the oldest, and I'm always the one that's like, hey, that's not right.
You called them
And
out on their bullshit.
yeah, I disrupt the flow.
Yeah.
And then my middle sister, she doesn't get that treatment until she tells them no. And then when she tells them no or doesn't do what they want, it kind of backfires on her. And then they do kind of treat my youngest sister the same way that they treat me. So Lexi is kind of she's the favorite without being called the favorite. But it doesn't do her any good. Like she's caught on. She knows that like they only are, you know, nice or say nice things to her or act the way that they should as parents when they need something.
I have a lot of things spiraling through my head right now that I'm a problem solver, right? I'm an engineer. It's what I do. So I'm trying to solve your problem of why you don't speak to your parents, like subconsciously.
Sure.
And I'm like trying to get to the root of why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
So first question, were their parents the same way they are?
That's a great question. I don't know if I have enough information to answer that. I know my grandma on my mom's side. So my mom is notoriously more of the problem. And her mom is the same way. I know that for a fact. But as far as my dad's parents, my grandma, she was delightful. I was very young, so I don't know any different other than like She was the grandma that wore the pearls and had the perfect hair and the pink lipstick that I wanted to play with desperately.
Don't touch my hair.
Oh my God, she was like the perfect 1950s housewife, like just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then my grandpa was very fun, but a very like cranky Italian man that would yell at us in Italian, but was also a fair. It was fair for him to yell at us because we would all come over at once. It was a big Italian family. My dad is one of 6, and so I have 21 first cousins, and we would do Sunday dinners. So there's
Italian Sunday dinners.
21 children running around.
I'd be yelling too.
Yeah, so I think that one's justified.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't know for certain if they kind of fell from the same tree.
Yeah.
Right. So the second question, and if I offend you by asking this, just either slap me or don't answer, or but I'm going to explain why I'm asking you this, if it's not obvious. But were you planned?
I was planned, but not for the time that I came.
Okay.
I think they were like, hey, we're going to have children, but they came back from the honeymoon. We're like, we're going to have children. And it's like, ta-da.
And if you're catching on, you could probably figure out why I'm asking that, but there could be some resentment.
Yeah.
And you could be the bad guy just for coming in
Yeah.
where you weren't expected to come in and
Yeah.
ruining their single married life.
Yeah.
And they didn't get a chance to live that honeymooning phase.
For sure. And they had a very, I don't want to say short relationship leading up to getting married, but they met and were married within a year, which isn't always a problem. Like, there are very successful marriages that are like that. But my dad had been previously married. I don't know a lot about that marriage. My mom had been previously engaged, which I think was not good. And then I think they met shortly after those experiences in their life. And they were like, hey, you're cool. You're cool too. And they were, I don't want to say then because I don't know them because I didn't exist, but knowing what I know of them, they're the kind of couple that fuels each other in the worst way.
Gotcha.
The worst way.
Just gasoline on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they ended up getting married, and I came on the honeymoon, and I think that's a really justified way.
You were the
be
match.
Like, yeah, well, I was the match. And to make that even funnier, I was born on the 4th of July, so I was like,
Oh, oh my gosh. How fitting.
I know.
Leave it to you. So, okay, so in the third hypothesis, I guess,
Sure.
is some parents are mean. I'm not saying your parents are mean. Maybe you can say they're mean, but because they feel like that's a way of keeping their kids in line or showing them respect or keeping them under control,
Yeah.
right? It's just like if they keep their children on edge, they won't fuck up. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to just be mean all the time, not
Yeah.
give them any leash at all,
Yeah.
and see what happens.
I think there was a little bit of that. I think more so they were never taught from their parents how to control emotions. And my dad being one of 6, I mean, his they had their hands full.
Yeah.
So like fine, understandable. But they also just didn't come from that time where like I feel like now we're all like, okay, we have to learn how to work on yourself and how to control your anger. And like we just have more information where they
Yes.
didn't have that. And so I think both of them just being that type of person and then meeting each other and being fire and gasoline didn't work. And also, so they both had severe substance abuse issues. So that was just an additional layer.
Well, why didn't you say so? That's a factor.
Yeah. So it just was, it wasn't like a let me keep you on a leash because we're going to make sure you're good. Because I'm not the kind of kid that gets in trouble. I've never been that. I, from a very young age, and this might be kind of nerdy, I was like, I'm not going to have a real job. I want to be a boss and I'm going to own a business. Like little 6-year-old me. So like they didn't need to keep me in line.
Gotcha. You kept yourself in line.
Yeah. I was like, I have big dreams.
Wow. I'm going to be president one day.
Oh God, that's too much.
Not
I don't
quite
want
that
that.
far. Well, I mean, I guess I didn't solve your problem.
Well, if you do, please
I'm
let
not
me
going to
know.
give up though, because we still got time. So maybe by the end, and if you watch to the end, maybe I will have solved Christalee's problem.
We can only hope.
You never know. Hey, all joking aside, one of my guests, Brian, what's up, Brian? He watches all the episodes. He was talking to me about how he had no relationship with his dad and how his dad was mean and affected him in a really pretty extreme way as a child, just from his attitude. And he wasn't ever able to talk to his dad about it because it's hard to sit down and talk to someone and essentially tell them you have a problem,
Yeah.
right? Because people get defensive or there's distractions or you're going to just
Yeah.
come up with some lie just to, appease them in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, his dad watched the podcast and understood what he did to Brian.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm getting the chills talking about this. They've rekindled their relationship because of the show.
Oh, that gets me in the feels.
And Brian invited me to his Christmas party last year, and his dad couldn't wait to meet me and thank me
Oh my God. Okay,
for bringing them back together. Right?
Oh,
Like, it's so
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
yeah.
So
That's
going
really
back to
cool.
like how things can change people's lives without even
Yeah.
realizing it. You doing makeup, you're changing people's lives without realizing it. And then this podcast is changing lives too.
Yeah.
So
That's
you never
incredible.
know. Maybe, just maybe, they will watch this. Maybe they'll get pissed off that you talked about it. Don't get pissed off. This is Christalee's life. This is her truth. You don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
But, or maybe they'll be like, I didn't realize that I acted that way.
We've had a lot of talks like this over the years, and I've had probably a million talks like that leading up to like being like, okay, I just have to go no contact. Like there's no other way. And again, I think it kind of goes back to the fact that they're just not from a time that they understood like you can hurt someone's feelings and say you're sorry and it's fine.
You don't just rub dirt on it and it goes away.
Yeah. And so I've had a million talks where I'm like, hey, and I really tried to word it in a way that wasn't like, you did this and it hurt my feelings, because that has happened my entire teenage years and it didn't get me anywhere. So it's like, I need to reroute what I'm doing. So I would approach it in a different way of like, this was my experience of being your child and this thing that happened. And they are famous for doing this thing. Well, I don't remember that happening. I'm like, but it did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand, like, if you don't remember that, whether it was like you were on some substance or you just have a lot of shame about it and you're like, I don't want to, we're just going to like lock that one away, whatever it was. But
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they remember.
yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't. Because you lived it,
Yeah.
right? And it made you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And they either address it and apologize for it,
Yeah.
whether they agree or not.
Yeah.
Or they just, I don't want to say they're copping out by saying, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe. But,
Yeah.
I don't want to make assumptions.
And I've tried to have that conversation with them too, where I'm like, I'm sure there's things that I've said to you, that didn't feel great, or I did something, or I didn't invite you to a birthday party, or, whatever it was. And like, we can talk about it and I will take accountability for it. But that means if I do that, hey, you have to do that too.
Yes.
And they don't like that. So it's like, you know what? For my own mental health, you gotta go. And honestly, it's been kind of great. It sounds terrible, but
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, it sounds terrible. But once you hear the history of it
yeah.
and the reasoning behind it, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, thanks.
So, but yeah, I mean, if anyone watching does have broken relationships with family members, whether it be parents or brothers or sisters or whomever, I'd like to hear about it. Comment below. Maybe, just maybe, someone else that is watching can help you. Or Christalee, her experience might be helping you. And just, I want to hear about it. Like, this is a group discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's a really like tucked under the rug subject because, again, even though it's a little more accepted now to have no contact, people are still like, but isn't there a chance? Or like, but they're still your parents. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I will get that. So like, I will understand. I will justify it for you.
Yeah.
If you need someone that's like,
Sit down.
okay.
Let me explain.
Yeah. Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Well, now they can just watch this.
Yeah.
You don't have to say just talk about it.
Yeah.
Just say here. Go to
Here you
this
go.
link. All right. So I think we beat that subject to death, for the most part. Again,
Yeah.
not trying to fix things here, but, this
Yeah.
is your truth. And it's unfortunate
Yeah.
to some. To some might be like, go girl, you've done the
Yeah.
right thing.
I think it's a little of both, and that
A little bit
works.
of both. Yeah. So beyond your family life, what was school like? Did you have a lot of friends? Were you the outcast? I know it was a small town,
Yeah.
and school life was probably a little bit different than city life. So
Yeah.
talk to me about that.
This is actually a really fun one because I feel like I lived a literal rom-com, like a high school rom-com.
Like, so which rom-coms did you grow up with? Let's get the age gap here. How old are you? Am I allowed to ask you that?
33.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Different generation.
But now that you put me on the spot, I can't think of any specifically.
Okay.
But this is a tale as old as time. I was the weird artsy girl, and not in an outcast way. It was just, I was very quiet. I didn't really know who I was, and I didn't really have the upbringing to be like, hey, you're great. Here, like, I didn't have that pep behind me. So it took a lot for me to figure that out. I was kind of friends with every single group, but I didn't specifically fit into one. But like, I loved my high school experience. Like, I had a great time. And I was that, the weird art girl. But my high school sweetheart was prom king, like athlete, like the whole, it was the rom-com. And he wasn't the kind that was like secretly mean. He's a jock. Like, this man was an absolute delight. Like, he was. So I'm super small, right? I couldn't reach that.
She couldn't reach the shelf to sign it. She had to kneel on the stool.
So I was, this height, and then I was half of the size that I am now. And Ian, my high school sweetheart, was 6'5", and we just looked like
Holy
this,
hell.
walking next to each other.
It's a giant.
Like, the cutest couple ever. So my high school experience was actually really great. Like, I did love it.
Good. I mean, you mentioned you didn't have, I guess, the confidence because that was never instilled in you that
Yeah.
you were good enough or you're
Yeah.
doing a good job or anything like that. So I can see how that would be like a learning curve for you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of, taken years. I think that would be normal with anyone, though.
Does it stay with you even to this day?
Like, which part specifically?
Do you ever feel like you're not good enough?
Oh, yeah. I feel like everyone thinks that. For the most part, I'm very secure in who I am. I've done a lot of work to get to that point. But I think I also kind of somehow was just blessed with this incredible spirit in this tiny body from a very young age. So no matter what, I was like, doesn't matter. I'm going to be a business owner. I'm going to, do XYZ thing. And I just had that in me. I don't know where it came from. Of course, it was a learning curve to be like, what do I do with all of this spirit and this energy and whatever? So that was a little bit of a challenge, but there's definitely days where I'm like, am I doing anything to make the world better? Am I doing anything to make myself better? But I do make it a point every day to do something that either scares me a little bit or that is uncomfortable or just something that I'm like, okay, I did my best today.
So that spirit in your small package. I wonder if that was kind of like your armor
Could have been.
that sort of shielded you from everything that you dealt with as a kid. Like, yes, I've been beat down emotionally, not physically, but and I'm just going to continue to grow this armor and I can't be hurt anymore.
That very well could have been. I've never really thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it.
I'm trying to solve problems here.
I think we're solving them.
I mean, let's just
chipping
check one
away.
off the box. You got a whole slew.
We'll just get a notebook
yeah,
out.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, again, this is an unbiased ear, right?
Sure,
And sometimes
yeah.
those are the best people to talk to.
Oh, yeah. That's
Because I
great.
don't know anything other than the last 30. Holy shit, it's been 37 minutes already.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah. So I've known you for 37 minutes and I have no other judgments to pass along to you. So yeah. But anyway, so out of school, what was your next step?
So I kind of did the thing that, we're all told to do is like go to college. And I kind of always knew from a very young age that I wanted to play with makeup or do something in art. And I didn't really know that like makeup artist was an option. I knew that like makeup artist for TV and film was an option because, movies, but this was pre-internet. So like not having parents that went to college or adults that really like gave me options or like helped me with that. I was like, I don't know. But I knew somewhere like deep down, I was like, I want to do makeup. And it wasn't a salon setting. I was like, that's just not for me. So when a time came to like pick what I wanted to do, I was like, okay, well, I think that my only options if I wanted to do makeup are like just go to New York or LA and hope for the best because I don't know.
Yeah.
And at 17, I just wasn't ready to do that. I was like, I have no money and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm very poor.
Yeah.
So I went to Edinburgh University for graphic design and I was okay at it. So I went for the first 2 years, which were your like basic classes like drawing, painting, color theory, all of those. And I loved that and I was good at that. And then when time came to do like year 3 where you're like, oh, we're getting into graphic design, I was like, I'm bad at this. I'm really bad at this. And I'm like, I've already put in all of this time. I don't know what else to do because fine arts, for the most part, doesn't make money. I'm like, I think I missed the opportunity to do like beauty school or something. Again, I don't want to do a salon. So I'm like, okay.
How do I pivot?
Yeah, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And this was also like a life-changing moment where I'm like, this was divine intervention. So I don't know if you've ever been up to Edinburgh University.
I have.
The snow.
The snow.
Oh my God. So I was going to class the one day and I was super early for my one class because I didn't want to walk all the way home across campus in the snow with all of my things. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to like wait in this hallway for the next hour. And I was miserable that day. I was so cranky. And so I'm waiting, and down the hall there's this like little snack stand with like coffee and snacks and school newspapers and whatever. And this sweetest old lady would run it. And so I was like, oh, I might as well just go get a coffee while I'm here. So I walked down the hall, and I go get my coffee and whatever. And there was a school newspaper, and I picked it up, and she was like, hey, that's an old one. Do you want a new one? And I hadn't even looked at it. I was like, no, it's fine. I'm just gonna like kill some time. So I walked back over, I sit myself down, I'm like, all right. And I look at the front page of this, and I was immediately like, okay, this copy needs set down. What is happening right now? And there was an article about a man terrorizing Erie with mechanical spiders. And I was like, what? What does this have to do with Edinburgh? Like, I was like, okay. So I continued to read it, and the headline was catchy. It definitely did its job. It was about a guy that had gone to the Tom Savini Special Effects School, and he moved back to Erie, and he was doing films with like the Erie Film Festival or whatever, and he made animatronic spiders. And I was like, I've never heard of this school. And it was an hour south of Pittsburgh. It was super tiny. But like Tom Savini, very famous name.
Sure.
And so I was like, okay. And so I'm looking around. I'm like, did someone like prank me with this? Like, this just feels too weird. And so I'm like, it was before, we could just hop on our phone and look up Tom Savini Special Effects School. So I was like, screw it, I'm not going to class. And I went home. I got on my little laptop and I was like, okay, let me type in this thing. And it brought up the school. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I was like, this is an hour south of Pittsburgh. Like, how did I not know about this? Why did no one tell me that this existed? So I was very bold. And I unenrolled for the rest of the semester. I packed up everything that I had in my little Jeep Grand Cherokee and I drove home. And I sent out the email and whatever to be like, hey, I want to come take a tour of this school. And so I went home and I remember my mom being like, it's like a Thursday. Why are you here? Like, I didn't know you were coming home. And I was like, so actually, I unenrolled. I don't want to do this. And I'm going to go to this school. And she was like, that's not a real job. And I was like, yes, it is. But it didn't help that their website was very like monster making heavy, which I knew. I was like, I'm not going to make monsters for a living. Like, that is not the little niche area that I want to go into, but it's definitely a draw for people. So they market it. And so I showed her this and she was just like, oh dear God. Like,
If she didn't hate you enough already.
I know. She literally went, you can't live at home till you're 40.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to live here for another month. I was like, the spring semester starts in May, so I'm going to go do that. And I went and I did the tour, and the entire time she's like, don't do this, don't do this. And I was like, I'm doing it. And so I went. It was 16 months straight through of like 10 to 15 hour days. And I immediately started working as soon as I got out of school. And I've been full-time, like, on my own ever since.
Wow. All because of mechanical spiders.
Yeah, who knew?
Who would have thought? So you quit college, like, boom,
Instantly.
without even being accepted at this other school.
Yeah.
That's ballsy.
I think it was a combination of the fact that I knew from the start that college wasn't for me, and I was kind of talked into it because that's what you do. You go to college, you get married, the white picket fence. Mm-hmm. And that was never me. And I was like, this seems terrible. I just wasn't meant for that life. And so the second that I saw that there was recognition for someone who went to a school like that in a newspaper, I was like, I could do that. I was like, I can do that times 10 if I wanted to in a different area of makeup. And I was just like, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
So how long after you started this school did you realize this is where I belong?
Oh, instantly.
Yeah.
I knew the second I did the tour. I walked in, and so the school itself is very, very tiny. They have different sectors of like cosmetology. I did the special effects. They have like filmmaking. It's very like creative centered for everything. And the building itself, they really cater to that. So they made it look like movie sets.
No
and
shit.
they really designed it to look like a vampire lair or like, I don't know, haunted house or whatever.
It's like the lines at Disney.
Yeah, it was.
They're themed.
That's a great example. That's exactly what it looks like. And I was just so inspired from like the first step in. I was like, I can do something with this. And that was it.
Wow. Did you dive into animatronics at all?
No. So that was a fourth semester choice. You could either do animatronics or you could do high fashion performance makeup. And I went with the high fashion because I knew that was just going to be more so what I would get paid for.
Sure. This animatronics are a pretty niche career.
I was like, unless you want to do, XYZ thing, and that's not my expertise or area I want to get into, I'm like, that's not going to do anything for me.
So does the fact that you have a diploma from this school, does that help you get jobs?
No one has ever asked me
Is that like a flex?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
So I graduated with a whopping 12 people.
Oh,
It's
sounds like
it's
hometown.
it's very specialized. So rather than a license which you get with cosmetology because you're working with chemicals, we got a associate's degree in specialized business. So I still learned all the same like sanitation, all the protocols, everything to apply makeup to someone so that it's not only beautiful but you're keeping them safe and healthy. All of that was in that. So that I lost my train of thought on that
No,
one.
you're good. So what was the first like job you got out of school?
Oh, this one was fun. Um, have you ever heard of the show Dance Moms?
Yeah.
So I don't watch reality TV. I really don't watch TV much at all. And the first call that I got from our career services was like, hey, there's a girl who's been on Dance Moms as the assistant makeup artist. She is, because she's graduating, she's moving to LA and she recommended you. Do you want to go do the show? And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. Like, it can't be as bad as you would think. It's reality TV. And so I the deal was that I would go do one day, and if it was a good fit and I liked it, I could sign on for the rest of the season. And it was one of those days that you cry in the shower after.
Oh, no.
So I really started out at the bottom.
Now,
Was
did you like reconsider your career choice? Like, did you think that all of the potential jobs were going to be like this?
I I don't remember honestly. I remember thinking that the main makeup artist, she I think was like an in-house person. And so I had never met her, and she was very mean girl energy. But the rest of the crew was delightful. And so I became like fast friends with anyone there. And so I remember thinking specifically, like, I don't want to do this job, but if I can work with those people, I want to do that. But I do not want to work with her.
Gotcha.
And so they called me back and they were like, oh, would you like to sign on? And I was like, hell no. And like looking back, that was kind of stupid because I'm like, I could have signed on to a full season of a TV show and I turned it down on day one of being in my career. But I
No,
just didn't want to start out that way.
now, you don't have to answer this. It might be too personal of a question, but does that kind of job pay well? Working for a reality TV show?
It does. So typically, the way that TV and film works is it's on a day rate. If you're not union, so I'm not union, I will day play, which is like I'll just come in when they need me. But for all other work, you do either a half day rate or a full day rate. So it's typically based on like a 10 or a 12-hour day.
Are you setting your prices? Do you
Yeah.
set your own prices? Okay.
Yeah, for the most part. So there's like an industry standard price, and then you have your lower end of that and your higher end depending on how seasoned you are.
Okay. So after Dance Moms, which, didn't end up being a long-term thing, tell me about some of your next jobs and the ones that really stand out to you.
So from there, because I made friends with a couple people on that, I ended up working on a feature film. I can't remember what the production company was, but I was like, yes, this is perfect. This is what I want to do. I want to work in film. And it was a 30-day feature. And it was all a bunch of young kids. So it was the perfect learning experience. Like, I could not have stepped into something better for where I was at in my life. But I very quickly learned that I am not meant for feature films
Why is that?
because they are 12 to 15-hour days.
Oh my
And then
God.
sometimes, which is fine, like a 15-hour day can go by really fast if it's, something that's going well. But in film, sometimes it just does not go well. And you're like working a 15-hour day, but it's 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. And then you're expected to come back at like 3 p.m. and work, another 12 hours. And like you are so sleep deprived because you are working around, is this scene day or night? Well, we have to film this day scene, or well, we have to film this night scene, or we have to, like, you don't just go in and 9 to 5. So between flipping back and forth and driving all over the world for, wherever we were filming, and then just all of the other factors of like, I haven't seen my friends in 30 days. I haven't like been home to hang out with my pets. Like that was just a different life. And a lot of people in film, that is their life and they love it and that's great. Like they'll sign on for 4 months at a time for like a TV show. And that's a lot of union people. But I quickly learned that I do much better in the commercial segment of that, which is far less glamorous. It is going to be like your corporate commercials and I don't know, like athlete commercials and things like that. So sometimes it is fun, but it's a much better quality of life. And I was like, that's my sweet spot.
So it's probably hard to have a personal life when you're doing feature films, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
What was your personal life like after you graduated from this school? Did you make friends? Did you have boyfriends? Like, tell me about that.
So when I got out of school, I was very gung-ho on just like, I'm just going to build my career. And I wasn't really focused on dating. I just didn't really care about it at that time because I was like, ooh, this new exciting thing. I'm working on TV shows and, very
Career driven.
Yeah. But I did end up dating a guy from that feature film. And it was great. And it worked out really great because after the film was done, like him and I would end up working together on a lot of things. So he went on to work for an ad agency and he would do more of the like editing and like post type of things. And when they would film, they would hire a makeup artist and it happened to be me. And so I got a really good foot in the door and I was very thankful for that.
Good.
But ever since then, I was like, okay, I will sign on to the things that allow me to have a life because I just was miserable if I couldn't balance that.
There's more to life than work.
Yeah. I was like, I want to like my work, but I also want to like my life.
Yeah. That's important. That's a great message, Christalee. Like your life.
Yeah.
You heard it here. And that's a wrap. No, I'm just kidding. So what has makeup taught you beyond maybe the obvious? Did it pull out a personality that you didn't realize you had? Did it make you empathetic and you didn't think you were? Like, what outside of the box, what has it done for you?
It has definitely helped me with my people skills. Like, I always knew I was very empathetic. I always knew that, like, I'm a kind person. I've always known those core things about me. But again, like, going back to high school, being very quiet and, like, I don't know who I am yet, blah, blah, blah. Like, it takes all those experiences to be like, am I good at talking to people even though I like it? Like, am I a people person? Do I need to work behind a desk? Like, what, where do I fit in?
Yeah.
And I think I learned pretty early on that I was able to make people feel really comfortable in my chair, and I didn't know that until it started to happen. Because again, when do you sit down and talk to someone?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people be like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous for this gig, or I was blah, 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 blah. But like, when you come into like a corporate gig or a commercial or whatever it is that I'm hair and makeup for, like, I'm the first person you see. And I didn't quite realize that, like, I'm your hype girl.
Yeah, you're setting the tone for the whole
Yeah.
day.
And so I don't think I ever realized, like, I'm a damn good hype girl. And like,
You're the fireworks, right?
yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm good at this. Like, I'm a good listener. I don't just listen to respond. Like, I listen to what you're saying, and then I want to think about my response. And I think that's a huge thing. I think people just wait for their turn to talk. And
Let me talk about me. Let me talk about me. Yeah.
but like with makeup, that's something that you definitely have to do because I ask them, like, what do you want? And I can't just be like, when are they done so I can start? I'm like, I have to actually zone in, like, okay, how do you feel today? How's this makeup going to feel like on you today? Like, what do I need to do to make sure that you're performing better or at your best? And so I was like, oh, I'm really good at yapping.
What other jobs beyond makeup? I guess you could like hairdressers.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
You're talking to people all day, yapping.
Yeah.
My girlfriend Maria works for the Vibe Beauty and Brow Bar.
Oh.
And I've had the owners on the show,
Oh, that's great.
Ange and Alyssa. And yeah, I've learned all about hair, which I don't have any of. What a waste. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
What other jobs other than being a podcast host, do you need to be a good listener?
Oh, I mean, obviously a therapist. So,
But
like,
therapists shouldn't be yappers.
no, they should not be
So
yappers.
don't be a therapist, Christalee.
Yeah, maybe not. I like where I'm at. I'll stay with that.
Stay there. I'm just trying to think what other jobs kind of fit those criteria.
Performers.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean, I
know.
guess you are kind of performing.
I'm just really silly. That's all.
And that's okay. Have you ever had like a nightmare client where it just nothing worked?
Yeah, you occasionally get those. And this is maybe a longer story, but I will give you the synopsis of it. I signed an NDA, so I could not tell you who I was working on, but it was a very notable politician that I did not care for, still do not care for, but also did not know who I was working on until after I signed the NDA. So I had to go through like security sweeps and a whole thing, and it was a whole day affair. And so I was told that they would be coming into my room to get makeup done, and that was not the case. So I like have all my stuff set up, and I have questions that I ask people, especially if I've worked on them the first time, like, are you allergic to any products, any this, that, whatever, because I don't want to make them break out. So I have a whole list. I make it quick. I have a routine, but it has to happen. So this was a male politician, and they're like, oh, actually, he doesn't have time. He got in late. We're going to throw you in the boardroom with him and a couple of the other guys. So I'm like, okay, just throw me right into the lion's den. That's fine. They throw me into this room with 12 other very notable, high-profile people, all men, that are all suited up, and while I will dress professionally, I don't look like I should be working on politicians.
You're not the 13th looking politician?
No. And so I'm like, okay, well, time to put on a show in like the most corporate way. And so he's leading this like meeting, and I'm like trying to ask, like, do you have any allergies? Like, can you please look up, close your eye, like this and this. And he's just not having it. Like, he clearly hates having me there. And so I was like, is there anything that you would, not like me to do? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, so no red lipstick. Like, just
Break the ice.
And crickets. Like, the whole room. And I was like, that was a joke. And I was mortified. And I was like, I am sweating so hard right now. And like, no matter what I tried, I was just like, okay. And then when I went to walk out the door after I was done, the door was locked. And I was like,
So you're trapped.
and I just knocked on it, like, can I come out now?
Oh my gosh.
But like 12 men who clearly don't respect a lot of things, but especially not a makeup artist and what I do, and then don't want to be there, don't want me to be there. They have other things to talk about, and did not even crack a smile at my joke. I was like,
So you felt smaller than you actually are.
yeah. But that was one of my my worst ones. Maybe I'll tell you that story in more depth when we're not on camera.
Yeah. Wait, I don't want to get you in trouble with the government, or we
Yeah.
don't need helicopters
Yeah, we don't
following
need
you home or anything like that. So you have to be able to read a room
Yeah, for sure.
as a makeup artist, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the next time you're thrown into a room of high profile
Yeah.
officials, maybe you'll be more prepared.
I have stopped taking politicians since then.
Okay. Well, you just
Not
stop
be-
doing them.
Not because of that. It just not my vibe. Not my vibe.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love what I do and I want to continue to love what I do, so maybe we just don't do that one. I have other work and that's fine.
So what about a client that, when you think about it, it gives you the chills that I got earlier when I was telling you the story about Brian? Like, it just, that moment, whether it was the person or the event or maybe the work you did, just stands out, like lifelong memory.
I actually have a great answer for this. So my very best friend in the entire world, who is now going to have to watch this, I met her because she was a client. So I lived in New Orleans for a little bit, and I moved there. I did a lot of work, but I was particularly doing a lot of hair and makeup for like boudoir sessions. So women that automatically are going to need a little bit of hype. Like that's a very scary thing to go do that kind of photo shoot. And so I got there early and I was waiting in my car because like the photographer wasn't there yet to let us in the studio. And I didn't know the photographer in person, so the car in front of me, I was like, is this the client or is this the photographer? But the girl in front, like her and I kept like making weird eye contact, and so like got out of the car and I was like, maybe it is her and she'll like know it's me and whatever. And so we both got out of the car and we start talking and whatnot, and like we didn't quite connect of like, oh, you're the client, you're the makeup artist, until like we both went into the same place.
You're asking like discovery questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she sat down in the chair and I was like, went through my list of questions of like, why are you doing this? Like, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out that like she needed a little more confidence because she'd been going through this relationship type deal and whatever. And so she'd moved from Mississippi to New Orleans because of this boy. And I was like, well, I also moved away from a boy to New Orleans. And so she's just one of those people that like immediately were like, when you know, and it applies to not only romantic relationships, but like, oh, you're one of my people. And I'm so thankful that I got that job that day because we were instantly just like, oh, you're meant to be in my life. Like, there's no question. Like 1,000%, you are my best friend. Which sounds ridiculous because you're like, how do you meet your best friend in your 30s or late 20s? But
Right.
like, it was just, it just was. I don't know how else to describe it. And since then, she is a badass and has moved herself to London.
Oh,
I know.
course.
But we still like, it just proves that like it doesn't matter if there's distance. When you find your people, you find your people. And it all started from her sitting in my makeup chair.
Wow.
So that's my favorite memory of like a client ever.
That's a great memory.
Yeah.
Fun fact. I like to do fun facts. I had a boudoir photographer on this podcast,
Oh.
Mallory Scalise, and my girlfriend Maria and I have a session scheduled with her
Oh my gosh.
in
they're
March
So fun.
2026.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
They're
So
empowering. It's great.
I can't wait. And I don't know how I'm going to feel on the day of, but I know it's going to be a good way for us to connect.
Oh yeah.
And, all the things. And Mallory, she's so much fun. And she's going to make it so much fun. Her and her
Oh my
brother do it.
gosh. Yeah.
And they have the funniest dynamic between the two of them. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they're going to be cracking jokes and,
Yeah.
making us feel comfortable and
Oh
all
my
the
God.
things. So,
I can't wait for you.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
so you mentioned you went to New Orleans to run away from a boy. I
did.
heard that.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I can you elaborate a little bit?
So this is again also a much longer story, but in a previous relationship, I started dating this man, and it seemed like too good to be true. It was one of those like, oh, like love at first sight type deals, and turns out that's not the case at all. But he took me to New Orleans. Well, didn't take me. We went to New Orleans, and I'd never been there, but I'd always had some sort of weird calling to go there. And when he was like, "Hey, we should go on this trip," I was like, "Yeah, now's the time. Great." And so we went, and this really weird thing happened, and I don't know how to articulate it other than like it felt like home. So because that's something that I've struggled with. Like my home didn't feel like home, and Pittsburgh hasn't always felt like home. I was like, what is that feeling that people talk about? And when I was just walking down the streets there, I was like, oh no, this is it. This is what it feels like. And I fell madly in love with the place. And there were so many experiences that I had there that were just so beautiful that I was like, we've got to move here. Like, and it just, I was like, I have to do this. And so when we went back, things were not working out because turns out he's not very nice. And it got to the point where I was like, I am trying to like live my life and do my businesses and all of these things, and he's interfering with that when I don't want to be with him because he's acting certain ways. And so I kind of had all these feelings of like, well, I have always wanted to move out of Pittsburgh, and I also now want to get away from him. I felt like home there. Okay.
No
so
brainer.
I just went
Up and left.
up and left.
Here you go again.
Yeah, up and left.
Up and left again. What's with you?
But I loved it. And so I moved there and everything was great. And then all of a sudden, had some health issues. And the universe is just so funny. Had some health issues. And because I wasn't a resident there yet and didn't have like bills in my name and all of the things, I didn't have any like healthcare or anything there yet. And so I was going to need like emergency surgery and like multiple surgeries for things. And at the same time, the universe decided to bring said boy back into my life because he wanted to apologize.
As they all do.
As they all do. And I was like, you know what? Fine, we'll do a FaceTime. We'll see what happens. Closure could be good. Maybe he is actually remorseful for the way he acted. One thing led to another, and he was on a plane in a week. And basically, what it boiled down to with my options there was I have to either become a permanent resident here and get all of these surgeries and all the things that I need here, or I'd have to move myself back home where I can already get health insurance and I have people there like my sister who can take me to appointments and whatever. And as boys do sometimes, oh, I'll do that for you. Just move back home. Which was a mistake. But I am still very thankful that I took that trip with him and went to New Orleans because that's still my favorite place ever.
I've never seen someone get watery-eyed talking about a place.
Oh my God.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not criticizing.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how much it meant to you.
It's magical.
And I think it's more of it being New Orleans than you felt like you were home for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We were just walking down the street and I had my coffee and I just started crying like a nerd.
Wow.
And I was like, it feels like home here. And he's like, are you okay?
You're weird, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm fine.
Now, I can't say I've felt similar things, but I have this weird infatuation with the British culture.
That means you have to go.
The accent, the weather, even the weather sucks.
Yeah.
It's just the vibe, the coziness.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
That means
And
there's
I'm just
something
like,
there for you.
why is this? Why am I obsessed with the Brits?
Well, I'm going to tell you, either you had a past life there or there's something there for you now that you have to figure out.
Or there's a third,
Or,
which kind of helps me,
yeah. Problem solved.
be at peace with this obsession. I did an ancestry.
Oh.
All of my freaking ancestors
Well, that makes sense.
are from Wales, Ireland, Scotland, Britain, England.
It's
whatever.
just literally in
I'm
your
just
blood.
like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
those are my people, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So I think that's kind of what pulls me
yeah.
that way,
You've got
subconsciously,
history there. Yeah.
innately.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I do want to visit one day.
Okay.
I do have a cousin that lives in Wales, Gwenny and her husband Sean.
Winnie. That's a great name.
Gwenny. I call her Gwenny. But yeah, one day
Yeah.
when I had the means and the time
Fair. That does take a lot of that.
going over the pond. I was close to Britain when I worked at my first career. I visited Finland for work,
Okay.
which
That's cool.
kind of close.
Yeah.
Same
In the-
time zone, I think, maybe. Right?
know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
But I was damn close. But I felt this weird sense of comfort being in Finland.
Yeah.
And I don't know, and I still think about Finland to this day. Like
the thing.
not like a freak, but but yeah, I just
Yeah.
felt like that 1 week there just I don't know what it was. The culture,
Yeah.
everyone's friendly. I don't say everyone, but the food's
Yeah.
very unique. I had reindeer, I had moose.
Reindeer.
Reindeer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even the hotel had a sauna in it because saunas are a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So much a thing. I'm going to kind of derail things a little bit.
Okay.
Little sidebar. So saunas are a tradition in Finland and other countries in that Norwegian region.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times fast. So we were invited. I say we. I was there with a bunch of other American men.
Okay.
A lot of them were from Colorado. Some were from Texas, I believe. And then, I was there from Pennsylvania. But we were invited to do a smoke sauna by one of the locals who was acting as our, I don't want to say tour guide, but he was like our escort for the week.
Sure.
Because we didn't have a rental car. We were relying on a van to get from A to B. And, he was the little tour guide. So he invited us to a smoke sauna. I'm just like, ooh, Google, what's a smoke sauna?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, ugh. Oh, bunch of naked men in this
yeah.
wooden hut.
To be expected.
Right. And I'm just like, oh, whatever. When in Rome, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, being I was with a lot of redneck, tough,
Oh no.
blue collar boys,
Sure.
they were like, bro, this is weird. I'm not doing this.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm not looking at your, I'm just like, listen, it's only weird if you make it weird.
Yeah.
And we're honoring their tradition.
Yeah.
Like, just
Exactly.
freaking do it.
Do it. Yeah.
So we did it. And it was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Like for real.
That's amazing.
We I say we, not like we're holding hands doing this, but we ran down this wooden pier. We leave the smoke sauna hut, run down this wooden pier. It's 30 degrees outside. It was in the middle of December, and jump in to the Bay of, I want to say it was the Bay of Botnia, whatever is between Sweden and the island of, Britain.
Yeah.
And whew,
Incredible, right?
freaking crazy.
So-
I would do it again.
So here's the funny thing is you thought that was going to derail. However,
What?
one of the questions that you had asked me like leading up to this, is about my like healing journey after the guy that I dated that was not great. One of the things that I looked into was like, how do I heal my nervous system after that? And contrast therapy is one of the things that I did.
Like cold plunges and
Yeah,
heat
and
and
sauna.
Sauna, yeah.
Yeah. So your experience is way colder than mine,
I mean,
but it's
it's not a competition, but it is.
no, but like it's I want to do
It
that.
was cool.
But that's one of the things that's like really helped. So anytime someone's like, "Oh, I've done like sauna and cold plunge," I'm like, "Yes,
Yeah.
like do it."
I do the same thing
when
when someone says sauna. I'm like, do you want to hear a story?
yeah. We do.
Yeah.
Tell us.
And then I talk about whatever.
That's
So
incredible.
yeah, it was so cool. And a piece of me will always be over there because it was just such a
amazing.
fun week.
Yeah.
You mentioned health problems.
Yeah.
Do you can you talk about some of those?
I can. They're not as exciting
Oh.
as I think you're hoping
You
for.
gonna make something up? Because I have a transition
Oh, okay.
there too.
Well, basically, what happened when I got there, I've never had real like health problems in my life. Like not like hospitalizations. I had some health issues as a kid or like a teenager that like kind of messed with my like reproductive system because it was like eating disorder-ish and it messes with your hormones, the whole thing. But other than that, no real health issues until I got to New Orleans and I had this like incident happen where basically I found out that I had a massive infection in my one front tooth that I had what is it? Like a root canal and a cap put on in high school because a dentist before that had messed up a root canal. And so I went to another one and they said they'd fixed it. But like, other than that, I've had great teeth. I take care of them, like the whole thing. So for years, I've had no signs, no symptoms, no pain. Went on with no sign of any issues. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you need multiple surgeries on your face. And I was like, okay, great. So that was a whole ordeal. Yeah.
Mine's probably more exciting.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a competition.
But
If you've come for a competition, stick around a little longer because we're going to arm wrestle.
Is that true?
It's true.
What are these things? I'm ready.
Easy. I arm wrestle every guest.
Okay.
And I ask you a question as we arm wrestle. It's my version of Hot Ones. If you haven't seen Hot Ones, have you seen Hot Ones? You eat spicy wings.
Oh, yes.
And you have to answer questions as you continue to eat.
Oh, no.
It's the answer under pressure.
Well, now I'm nervous.
Just relax. You want to go jump in the cold tub real quick? Calm your nerves. We got a frozen pool in the back that you can hop in.
I'll consider it.
So yeah, before I talk about my health problems, you want a drink?
Sure.
You've come all this way.
All this way.
All 30 minutes, whatever it was.
What a long journey.
You must be parched.
So parched.
Is there anything that stands out that you want to try, Christalee?
You know, I kind of want to have you pick one out.
I knew it. I'm okay with that. Oh, yes. So I just picked this up a couple weeks ago. Penelope toasted marshmallow.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, 'tis the season
Okay.
for a toasted marshmallow. I actually, full transparency, I haven't been buying bourbon hardly at all. As you can see, I have enough to some, maybe not enough to others, but I don't want to say abusing it, but I was drinking every night
Sure.
for about 2 years. And that was just my relaxation after a long day. I wasn't getting sloshed,
Yeah.
but alcohol is alcohol.
Sure.
And on the daily is on the daily. And I put a stop to that. And I switched to tea because of my ancestors. Not really, but I just thought maybe I just need some crumpets.
Some crumpets. That's really incredible, though. That takes, even if it's not like a problem or habit, routine still is like a hard thing to break.
Listen, I am as routine as you get. Ask my girlfriend, just like my father.
Oh.
I am such a man of habit. I say borderline OCD. Call it routine, call it OCD. I'm not going to start diagnosing, but yeah, I like my things. I like them certain times of the day, in certain order.
Sure.
It's just who I am, and to stop that routine is actually easier than I thought.
That's great.
I think it's because I realized the health impact it was probably having on me.
Yeah.
So it was a no-brainer.
Did you have like a moment that you were like, oh, okay.
Yep. And it all was because the podcast that I look up to the most, Diary of a CEO, they have 13 some million subscribers now. Stephen Bartlett, the host, holy shit. He has done amazing things with not only podcasts, but he's building brands and building people's lives through this. What started as a podcast, and he's interviewing like world famous people, like you name it, they've been on there, and it's only going to get better for him. But anyways, one of his guests was an expert on alcohol and the health effects that alcohol has. And she put it very simply. She said I think it was in the UK, and this isn't a setup or like this isn't sponsored by the UK, but in the UK they measure alcohol consumption based upon units of alcohol. Okay. You get so many units of alcohol per week, and that determines whether you're a light, moderate, or heavy drinker.
Sure.
So Stephen, had a glass of wine on his table, and he said, "How many units of alcohol is this glass of wine?" And she said, 2. And he was like, "This is only half a glass of wine." Yeah. And most people have 2 or 3 glasses of wine in a sitting, easy. And if you do that many nights a week, you're all of a sudden a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
Not even realizing it. And I'm just like, okay, I have 4 pours of bourbon, 7 nights a week. Oh my God, I'm a heavy drinker.
That's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Wow.
And from that moment, literally, I'm not trying to be dramatic for television. From that moment, I stopped. I am not going to be considered a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something to be proud of. Whether it's a routine or not, I'm still consuming it.
Yeah.
My organs are still hating me.
Yeah.
So that was it.
That's kind of amazing. Yeah. And I don't feel like everyone gets that same opportunity of like, it was laid out so clear for you.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, oh, okay. Like,
well, again, I'm analytical.
Yeah.
So just give me the facts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear these speculations. Like, I want the science. Yeah. And if that science is saying, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm following the science. Sorry.
That's fair.
I don't care about your opinion, but if you're going to show me the studies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need someone to say, oh, don't you think you've had enough? Like, I'm going to have more if you say that.
Yeah. You're like don't tell me.
Right. Watch me. But yeah.
Understood.
Anyways. Well, anyways, we're gonna drink some alcohol. Cheers. Tell me what you think.
Oh, that's good. There's a little sweetness.
So when you breathe
there.
out through your nose, that's where I taste the most.
I'm very stuffed, so I don't know. I'm gonna be real.
You breathe out and it's like.
I was like, you don't want that right now.
You like it though?
I do. That's actually really good.
Now, do you drink bourbon often to be a good judge of character?
No, not often enough. Like
Not often enough.
Well,
that sounds terrible.
You know what? It's if I'm gonna go out and get a cocktail, because like you, I don't really drink. But if there's an occasion where like, hey, we're at a Christmas party, or like let's go meet up for a drink or whatever, and there's something on the list that has like a bourbon or a whiskey in it, I'm like, that's the one that I'm gonna like. So that's usually where I am drawn to.
Okay, so you steer towards the whiskeys and the darker stuff. Okay, that's fair. Well, I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad I got to open it. See, listen, if this was like 2 months ago and I had the sip, I'd be like, is that all you got? But now I'm just like, ooh,
that was like
that burns.
Your voiceover voice. That was like radio voice.
Is that all you got? Yeah. Hey, you never know. But I promised you I would share my health problems with you. And I was going to say that they're not worse than yours, but they might be. So last year, I had my calf swell up. Just randomly.
Okay.
I'll call it tight. Slightly swollen, slightly tight. I figured I did something at the gym or did something in my sleep. Maybe I had a cramp that just kind of stuck around too long. Whatever. Day goes by, swelling gets worse. I'm a typical man. It'll be fine, right? I'll get a cold shower. It'll calm down. Next day, it was so bad that my girlfriend said, "Your skin is shiny. It's stretched so much."
Oh, that's bad.
So I'm just like, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? So I ended up going to my PCP the following day because by the time she saw it, it was already late at night. We go to my PCP, walk into the room. Nurse practitioner comes in, feels my leg, and says, "You need to get to the ER right now." I'm like,
oh no.
Why? She's like, "I think you have a blood clot." Just like,
oh God.
That doesn't happen to 46-year-olds.
That's rough.
So I'm just like, okay. Go to the ER. Actually, no. Let me stop there. I needed to get an ultrasound to determine for sure
Yeah.
whether it was or not. The earliest appointment I could get was like 2 days later. She's like, you cannot wait that long.
Yeah.
So my ex-wife actually does ultrasounds. So I called her. I said, are you at work? She's like, yeah, what's up? I said, I'm on my way in. I need you to scan my leg. They think I have a blood clot. She's just like, okay, well, trying to get here in the next hour. It was like 4 p.m. She left at 5. I show up. She sticks the wand to my upper thigh and says, holy shit.
Oh, that's never good.
I'm like, the problem's in my calf.
Yeah.
She's like, you're blocked all the way up here.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So from essentially my groin
Yeah.
to my calf, the whole femoral vein was complete. I had no flow. And she's showing me on the screen. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at, but I could tell that there's a vein and there's nothing going through it. It's black.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah. She's like, you need to go to the ER.
Yeah.
So I walk down to the ER. What's the problem? Look like freaking nutty professor down here. Buddy love.
No.
So they do a CT scan. They find I had 2 clots in my lung,
Oh, my God.
2 pulmonary embolisms.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I'm just like, am I dying here? Like,
Yeah, like,
this is new to me. I've been a very healthy person my entire life.
Yeah.
Thank God. So I'm like, okay, like, what does this mean? They're like, well, we're going to put you on a blood thinner and send you home. So they gave me a pill and sent me home.
oh, my God.
They gave me a prescription for Eliquis.
Okay.
I'm just like, they're like, it'll break down the clot. Okay. So I start taking my blood thinners. A week goes by, and I'm at the point where I can't even stand up anymore. Oh my God. It was progressively getting worse.
Yeah.
So I talked to another doctor, a vascular doctor, and I was like, I need you to do something. I'm not going to wait a year for these clots to break down.
No.
Like, they're like, all right, we'll do a thrombectomy, it's called. Essentially, they suck the clots out. So I don't know if anyone knows what a blood clot looks like. Picture a little piece of gelatin, a little dark piece of dried blood, right? So they do this procedure and come out of surgery. The doctors had talked to my parents and my girlfriend saying, we got all the clots out. And they actually had like a drawing of like my leg and like the clots. There was no like actual imagery. It's like someone sketched it. Like, here's his leg and here's the, I'm
Sounds
just like,
it's out of a movie.
yeah. So I'm in recovery the next morning and I'm going to be discharged at like 10 a.m. And I hadn't left my bed since I was taken out of surgery. They had me on bed rest. There was like the checkbox on the whiteboard in there, like bed rest. I'm like, all right. So doctor comes in, checks my leg. They had these little like vents in the back of my knees to like keep the flow going or something. They pulled those off and then bandaged me up and said, all right, you can get dressed and head home. So I stand up and I'm like, my groin is killing me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, something doesn't feel right. Like, it's you just had surgery yesterday. You've been laying in bed for 12 hours or 15 hours, whatever it was. Go home. I'm walking the same as I was before.
Okay.
Same discomfort. I expected like,
Yeah.
I'm flowing again, right? That's what I expected to feel. Wasn't the case. I let 2 or 3 days go by to the point where I literally, again, I couldn't stand up. I couldn't put an ounce of weight on my leg at all. I call the doctor's office who did my procedure. I'm like, listen, I got this crazy pain in my groin. I can't stand up. She's like, how long have you been feeling this for? I was like 3 days. She's like, you've been feeling this for 3 days and you didn't tell us? I'm like, I was told it's normal surgery pain.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to get to the ER.
Oh, no.
I'm like, babe, gotta go back to the ER.
Oh
So we go to a different hospital.
Good choice.
Smart choice.
Yeah.
And I never knew how smart of a choice that was. Go there. Get scanned. Fully blocked. Again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In 36 hours.
How does that even happen?
Great question, Christalee. Great question. Have another thrombectomy. But during this one, they give me the local anesthetic in my heel to numb my leg before they stick the sucker tool out. They hit a
The
nerve.
official name.
Felt like I was tased. I'm like, what did you just do? He's like, what did you feel? I'm like you tased my foot. Like, oh, sorry, we hit a nerve. Boom,
God.
did it again.
Oh.
Anyways, this is a very long story. I'm sorry. But after the second procedure, and I'm going to put a little picture up on the screen of what they pulled out of my leg, and I will show you after we're done.
Oh yeah, I want to see this.
But remember what I said? This is what a blood clot looks like and what to picture. Well, my entire leg was full of a clot. It was one big clot from groin to calf that they pulled out.
So, did they tell you like how that happens to prevent it?
So here's what I was told. About 100 times I heard, you're too young and too healthy to have this problem, which makes me think, what have I done wrong?
Sure. Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? What am I missing here?
Yeah.
I'm obviously not as healthy as I thought. I was taking testosterone replacement. Okay. They blame that right away because it thickens your blood. Okay. I was on pretty much the lowest dose that you'll get prescribed. They asked me, do I have family history? No. High cholesterol? No. Like, do you eat a healthy diet? Yes. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks before my calf started swelling, my girlfriend had COVID.
Oh no.
COVID does crazy things to people.
Oh no.
Right? So to rule this out, I had an antibody test done after my second procedure, just out of curiosity. And sure enough, I was positive. I had the antibodies, meaning I had COVID.
Yeah.
So I think COVID, but the doctors won't tell you that because
Yeah.
don't say the C word,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I think COVID almost killed me. The doctor that did my second procedure said, you are lucky to be on this table. And I don't know how many people have heard something like that,
That's-
but talk about perspective
Oh yeah.
and viewing life a little bit differently.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So as I sit here today, I'm still on blood thinners. I probably will be my entire life, just for peace of mind. My leg is still swollen. It probably will be for the rest of my life. I jokingly say I finally have the calf that I wanted. I just don't have the other side to match.
Great frame of that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
That's intense.
pretty wild. Not to trump your
Oh no.
tooth
mine's-
story, but
It's just teeth.
I win.
They're just you. Yes. Again, not that it's a competition,
competition.
as we say, but like,
Yeah.
come
yeah.
on.
Yeah. It sucks. But yeah.
Wow.
If there's any message to that, it's life is short,
Yeah.
you know, and you are not immune to any disease, any illness, anything just because of your age, your health level. Like, it doesn't matter. And that's why you just can never predict when something bad could happen. Hopefully it never does, but
That's why you just have to be a lot of spirit in a small package.
be like Christalee. So yeah, just be 5'2".
Well, sort of.
Yeah, be 5'2" and spunky.
Wow. That's a great message through that.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't imagine living through something like that. That's
Yeah,
next
like
level.
it was over a year ago, and I actually did an episode of talking about it. I did it's actually 2 episodes because that wasn't the only thing that happened to me in that time.
Yeah.
I broke my foot, got laid off. I still have a herniated disc in my neck
God.
to this day, which I'm getting evaluated for surgery next week. But I've been dealing with this for a year, and then I had the blood clots, all in 2 months.
2
All of that
months.
happened in 2 months span. Talk about rock bottom. And everyone has their different version of it.
Yeah, but
that was mine.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah.
That's a lot to deal
Mm-hmm.
with. And you still came out and you're like, hey, I'm doing this podcast and I'm gonna live my life, and
Yeah.
that's
I missed a
incredible.
few episodes, understandably.
How dare you?
but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
Love that.
So to add to the message, I have a lot of hobbies. The podcast I consider a hobby. It's a passion project, right? I drum. Like that's a
Oh.
passion project.
Okay.
I've always loved drumming. I'm always looking for my next passion project or things that's going to like fill my cup.
Yeah.
Don't ever be afraid to do something that you love. Don't let anyone tell you not to do it. And if someone is telling you not to do it, that person shouldn't be in your life unless they have a really fucking good reason to tell you not to do it. Whether you could die, like if there's a 50% chance you're going to die doing it, you probably shouldn't do it. But if there's no valid, justified reason to follow your dreams, as corny as that sounds, do it.
110% agree.
Yeah.
Could not agree more.
Yep. So that's what I do. Every single day, I'm just like, what am I going to get into today?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
You gotta, you have to like your life.
You have to live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh. What else is there to talk about?
Well, I don't know. We covered a lot.
How do you know Caitlin?
She also does makeup.
Oh, I know
And
that.
So she worked at the Scare House, and I also worked at the Scare House. And her and I are very similar personalities. We're just very bubbly.
Yes. You are separated at birth.
Yes.
So, yeah, Caitlin Deline. See that Hulk hand down there?
Why did she bring that? That sounds like her.
She came with surprises.
I'm not surprised at all.
A bag of tricks. She arm wrestled me with that Hulk hand on.
I feel like now I can't, because how am I gonna? You can't top that.
And you didn't watch her episode on purpose because you didn't want kind of the show to be spoiled because you knew maybe what was going to happen or whatever. She brought glitter to put in our bourbon.
I almost brought glitter. You
brought nothing.
I didn't know I had.
You don't have to do anything.
Wait, my homework was.
How? Come on. I'm not going to be like, Christalee, you need to bring gifts. You need to bring prizes.
Well, okay. No,
surprises.
Well, here's the thing: is normally I carry purse confetti.
Oh.
And I switched purses, so I don't have my purse confetti.
Oh my gosh.
Because I wanted my cheetah purse instead of my branded purse with my logo on it, and that's the one that has the purse confetti.
So you would have just been like,
Well, it's just in case of an
Just in
emergency,
case.
in case there's a celebration. Yeah, either a celebration or if there's someone who's doing something really rude, you can just throw the.
do you do that?
I have yet to find the excuse to do that, but I'm ready for it. You never
You got to
know.
get that on video.
Purse confetti. Gotta have it. It has
Blast
glitter
'em
and
right in the
cute
face.
little things in it.
So yeah, Caitlin, did she tell me to have you on? Or did I reach out to you because I can't remember the connection there?
I don't remember,
But anyway,
but
yeah.
I remember watching part of hers and being like, she's hilarious. Such a delightful human.
I had her, we played some games.
Okay.
I had her pretend to be a certain character,
Oh, God.
like a old French woman. And she had to act out an old French woman.
She was probably so good.
Oh my gosh. Fucking nailed it. And then she had to, we did an impromptu song. She had to sing her responses to my questions.
Oh, that's fun.
It was fun. And she did this Britney Spears impersonation, which was amazing. And then she did the bourbon confetti. She did the Hulk hand. I'm not trying to make you feel
So wait,
bad.
why didn't I have any games?
You don't you don't act. She claims to be an actress and she sings. Do you have
she
hidden
does it
talents?
all.
Should we start some games? You want me to make something up?
Why don't you make something up and I'll tell you yes or no?
Oh my
Do
gosh.
you have accents?
I feel like every accent I do turns into Australian
I feel like that's kind of
without
normal.
fail. It can start Asian, and all of a sudden I'm like, throw another shrimp on the bone. Like, I don't know how it happens. Yeah. Do you do accents?
No, and doing like a character like that sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I will do that for my boyfriend, and I do that all the time. And he's like, "You have 20 personalities. I would never have to stray."
You're not going to do it for the world?
No, you have to be.
You want some more?
I save it all for him.
Okay. Well, that's fair. So, yeah, tell me about your boyfriend. We haven't talked about him yet. We've only talked about the mean ones.
Specifically one mean one,
Yeah.
who put me through quite a bit. There was a lot of court dates. There was a lot of paperwork. There was a lot of lawyers,
That bad.
police, a whole thing.
Yeah.
So through a lot of that, when I got out of that relationship, I didn't date because I was just like, what do
Probably
I
scared the hell out of you.
Yeah, I was like, first of all, what do I do? I can't date someone in this. And also, like, it got worse when I got out, like, officially got out, because turns out that's actually a thing that happens. Because when I started talking to a lawyer who deals with this, they were like, every time it gets worse when they feel like they lose control. And I was like, well, shit. So we officially ended the relationship in 2023, and up until fairly recently, I've been dealing with all of the court dates and police and all of the things still. But in the beginning of this year, I was at one of the places that I do contrast therapy, and that was one of the things that I was doing to, like, I'm going to heal my nervous system. I'm going to, like, reset myself so that I feel stable and I pick better partners next time. And this lovely man who I was like, I don't know this guy, but so the way it works is when you go, you sit in rounds. So like round one is like 3 people that'll sit in the ice, and then you do sauna. Round 2 is whatever. We always sat in the same round. And like, I'm just there to like do my thing and like I'll make friends or whatever. And he was just delightful. And I didn't consider like dating from Tub Club or anything. I was just like, he's great. And then around Valentine's Day of this year, he asked me out, and I was like, really? I was like, do I do it? Because I think he's great, but also like I don't want to mix that with this, and like this is a really important community to me. So if it goes wrong, it's just all of the factors. So I was like, okay, no, like I really appreciate it. I'm really flattered, but like, I can't.
So you turned him down.
I did. And he was like, cool, okay, whatever. And
I'm going to
then,
drown you in the tub, bitch.
oh my God. I'd have been like, at least like put my makeup on first. Like, let me look cute before you do it. I want a cute corpse.
I was thinking that, and I said it. And anyways, it happens.
Yeah, I have to look cute whenever I die.
Yeah.
So like, that's your ghost outfit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he stuck around and whatever, and we just became really good friends because it's every Wednesday, and I went every Wednesday religiously because, unlike you, I am not a routine person, and I needed some routine to like get myself back on track. So every Wednesday, he was there. Every Wednesday, he'd be like, "Tell me about your businesses. Tell me about this. Tell me about that." Blah blah blah, and he was just lovely.
Showed interest.
Showed interest without being pushy, without like just a wonderful human being. And I saw the way that he treated other people, and like when new people would come, he always made sure that they felt included. And I was like, he's just a kind person.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, okay, maybe I shouldn't have turned him down. And so, we become really good friends. And the one day I was going to miss Tub Club, and I was like, hey, I won't be there this week. And he's like, oh, well, that's a bummer. I have a surprise for you. And I was like, for me. And he's like, yeah, it's just this small thing. And I'm like, okay. I was like, what the hell does this dude have for me?
Yeah.
And I have another separate business, which is a whole other thing. But it needed a new website. And I didn't know what he did, but he is an engineer and does websites and design and all of the things. And so I go to Tub Club, I ended up making it, and he's like, so I made you a website, and you can say no, but like, I just wanted to, you have this really cool thing, and I just wanted to make sure that it's showcased properly. And I was like, okay, that's not a small surprise.
It's like the nerdiest yet most thoughtful gift.
It was. And so, I was like, okay, great. Like, I would love that. We set it up in like my name and the whole thing. And then later down the road, we just kept talking and talking and talking. And the moment that I knew, I was like, fuck, I'm in love with this man, is we were sitting on my couch and he was like, so I have a confession. And immediately from my past like relationships, I was like, oh no, this is the worst possible thing.
Don't tell me you want to move to New Orleans. Oh gosh.
I was like, oh God. I was like, what? You cheated. You have cancer. What is it? And he's
You're married. Yeah.
like literally anything. And he's like, no. I was like, okay, what? He's like, so I wasn't lying when I said I made your website because I don't get to do creative things like that, and you have a very creative business, and so like I wanted that for my portfolio, but also like you do cool things. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I knew that you are a very, very strong personality and a very independent person, and you are not going to put up with anyone's shit, and you are more importantly not going to let anyone else in your life that doesn't show they have value and that they value you. And so I made you that website to kind of be my in. And I was like, God damn it. It's like, oh, like, fine.
That's crazy.
And he's just been, okay, this is the part that will make me cry. After all of the things that I've been through, so while my other previous partners have not been as bad, like the last one it was abusive, it was bad. But I still did not pick partners that were good for me just because I picked the love that mimicked what my parents gave me. And so I didn't know that there was a different kind of love. And so when I met this man, I just became like friends with him, and he just was just there. I was like, oh no, like this is what it's supposed to feel like. And like he has brought out the best version of me. And I'm like, oh, why do you do that? And he's wonderful.
That's what everyone dreams of, right?
Very, very grateful for him. Like, of all the people that change your life, if you could like, name 5, name 10, he's definitely in the top of people that have like shifted my entire universe.
Yeah. So you said you didn't know what kind of love you were looking for instance. Did you maybe feel like you didn't deserve true love?
I don't think it was that. I think I've always kind of thought that like there is love out there. There was true love out there. Like I will find it, but I was looking in the wrong places to find what I wanted. So my parents again were like, and this is something I learned in therapy, that you go for the type of love that mimics what your caregivers gave you. And so they were very neglectful, and they were very like, I will show you love when you show me what you can do for me. Mm-hmm. And so I, for the most part, picked partners that were like that. And not that they were all bad. They just maybe weren't the partners for me. The one was bad. But that was kind of an underlying theme of like, I have to prove my worth to you. And so, with him, it was just, I did not try to prove anything. I was like, I have no makeup on every time you see me. I am like just here to like work on myself. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, wow, okay. So it was just not anything that I thought, but worked out in the best way.
So you said he's seen me without makeup, like the raw version of Christalee. I think, and I don't want to poke the bear here, I think the fact that women can transform themselves with makeup is so unfair.
Oh, we're shapeshifters.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not unfair for the reason that you might be thinking. It's, I think, unfair because men don't have anything like that they can do
No.
at all.
No.
Right?
You got what you got.
Right. That fucking sucks. If you don't have a lot to give, right?
So, okay. Yes and no.
Defend that.
You can, you have what you have. But you can get a haircut that suits you. You can, work out or wear.
Can you get a
clothes
haircut that
suit
suits you, Christalee?
Well, this is okay. One of the things that I really loved with Ryan is that he is as far opposite as I can get from me. Like I love hair and makeup. Like I don't wear it all the time, but like I love to play with it and like I like to get dressed up and whatever. And he is very efficient.
Okay.
He's God
Simple,
bless him,
man.
He's efficient. And I know he's gonna watch this, so I'm gonna tread lightly.
Smart girl.
He is like, I will put on jeans and a shirt, and that's that. But like, he's an ultra marathon runner, so he's in like workout gear most of the time. So his version of dressing up is, I put on jeans today, and that's fine. But then I come along and I'm like, so what if we do this with your hair? And like, it looks really good that way. And what if we do this? And then I explained to him the one time, I was like, so you always wear your hair like this, but if you swoop it to the side, it brings out like all the lines here. And I took my little comb and I did the whole thing. I'm like, so if you go this way and this way and this way, it shows you that your lines are supposed to be like this, this, and this for your facial hair and your hair and all of like just the way that it's proportioned and how I go about doing makeup and, the whole thing. Yeah. And he was like, there's like a whole science to this. He's like, this is a whole anatomy lesson. And I was like, I know. And he has since started dressing in things that actually fit him and doing his hair. And I'm like, as if you couldn't get cuter.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Ryan.
Yeah.
The smolder.
I'm going to be so embarrassed when he watches this. And also he's going to be like, want to go on a date?
All right. I'm going to put you on the spot. We've talked a lot about just do your hair differently or this or that. If I sat down in your chair and I said, Christalee, I want to feel like a new man.
Okay.
What would you do to me?
I would say, well, what kind of new man do you want to be? And that would really determine the route we go.
I would say I want a different identity because I've had the same identity for 6 years now.
Okay.
I want to try something different, something edgy, something unique. What would you do?
Well, I would have more follow-up questions. I would be like, is this old identity that we're leaving behind because you want to leave baggage and you want something fresh with color? Or is it that you are going from a lot of chaos and you had a lot of color and a lot of things going on and you want something more stable, so maybe we do more neutrals? So it would really depend. If you sat down knowing that we don't have hair to work with and you probably don't want makeup, we would probably be talking about wardrobe. So I would say like, okay, well, depending on what route you want to go, maybe we pick out some staple pieces of maybe some color, or maybe we do like a jacket that really stands out with some like fun print, like a trendy piece, or whatever it is that you're feeling that you need to like kind of get in your life.
Yeah,
we're gonna go that route, but there's a lot of questions that lead up to figuring out what it is you actually want.
So you're kind of like a therapist. Get to the bottom of why do you want to do things? Why do you want to change? Why do you want to look different? Blah, blah, blah.
Because if you just say, I just want to change, and I say, okay, and I give you something different, it could be the best hairstyle or best makeup or best wardrobe change you've ever had, but if it's not the change you want, you're not going to like it.
I can see how just changing someone's clothes, for instance, for someone like me who can't change their hairstyle, I can shave my facial hair or not.
Yeah.
Let it grow out, get rid of it. I don't have too
Sure.
many options. But if I change my wardrobe,
Yeah.
it can exude some confidence, which can make me appear like a different person to others.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's kind of what I do with some of my clients that are just like personal clients and they don't come for a wedding or like a corporate gig or whatever. They're just like, hey, I want to learn how to do my makeup because I want to make a change in my life. And so another thing that I offer with those services is I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I do color season analysis. So it's basically when someone gets to see a bunch of different colors draped on them and what colors work for them. So if you're like, I just need to change and I want to learn how to do my makeup differently, I'm like, okay, there's more here. We're going to dig into that. And so I put a white sheet on them and then I hold up all these different colors and they go by season. So it's like spring, autumn, winter, whatever. And it's, your pastels or your brights or whatever, which also do help with makeup. Because I'm going to be like, if you want to go buy a lipstick that really pops and makes you feel fun, like you're going to want to go with this color palette. But also, when you're shopping and you want to buy something trendy, this is your color palette. So not only is it like, hey, we'll put this lipstick on you and it's going to make you feel like a new woman because you have a little bit of color on your face, but now when you go shopping and you're like, I'm changing my entire life, you have the right colors to do that.
You're opening doors of possibilities.
I hope so.
And I've learned that if you don't have hair as a man, you're fucked.
It's kind of true. Sorry.
All right. Just fall back into that depression.
We could get you like
Back
a
to
cheetah print
drinking.
jacket.
To numb the pain.
What have I done? Caitlin brought like glitter and I
You
caused
brought
this.
sadness and the lack of hope.
I should have brought that confetti.
And
I knew it.
Speaking of, what do you offer someone? What have you offered me, Christalee?
My eternal love.
You've seen the Neverending Story, the movie?
A long time.
What is oh my gosh, what do they call that? The something of sadness. River of sadness.
No.
You're my river of sadness.
That is it.
We're not
doing that.
You're gonna kill Atreyu
He's gonna cut
all
that
over
out.
again. Maybe. We'll see. No, I probably will. Maybe. We'll see.
If you don't, it'll be really funny.
Yeah, it will. Yes. It's staying.
I can offer you a very hilarious and pathetic arm bristle.
You've come to the right place.
Oh, well.
'Cause that's exactly what's about to happen.
Well, it'll have to be with the
You were just
surface on.
bragging about your guns. What happened? What happened to that confidence?
Well, you told me I bring the river of sadness, so my energy level went a little down.
Fair. I'll take full blame for that. All right, girl.
Okay.
This is all for fun.
Oh God, hold on.
Remember, it's not a competition. But is it?
Is it?
I'm going to ask you a question as we do this. You're going to
Okay.
start whenever you're ready because you're my guest. And I'm going to ask you a question. Go ahead.
I'm nervous and sweating. Okay.
A little damp.
Ew.
Go. Go.
Okay.
All right, Christalee. Your life has changed a lot in the
Yes.
past couple years. Where do you see it heading in the next 5?
Ooh. I don't know where it's heading, but I'm excited to find out.
Are you going to be afraid to take any chances?
Oh no, I'm gonna dive right in.
Because you're going to be president after all.
Well, I better wear some.
After
really
that
great
experience with
outfits.
politicians, you're never going to be.
Oh my God, those
in
politicians
politics.
will be like, we should have taken the red lipstick. Like, you should have. You heard it here first.
Take the red lipstick. And on that note, do you have any questions for me, Christalee?
What was your favorite part of this today?
Oh, before I answer that, I'm starting something different.
Ooh,
There's a lot of firsts today.
okay.
Okay. I am going to have you and all of my future guests. I want you to send a positive message to my next guest, who you don't know who it is,
That. Okay.
but I'm going to relay that message to the next person that sits down and say, this
Okay.
is from Christalee. She wants you to know that.
Okay. Am I telling you now or am I writing it?
You're telling me now.
Ooh, okay. This might be kind of a generic one, but it would be do the scary thing, because I was a little nervous for today. I was like, "Oh, we might be getting into some shit," and I was a little nervous about it, but I was excited. Also, taking chances. So like, I didn't know you before this, and now we're BFFs. He's like, "Oh."
Block. Just kidding. I have never blocked a guest yet.
Until today.
Another first.
And also, don't afraid to just be your silly self, because it made it way better when I was.
I love it. And I know who the next guest is. And I'm going to tell you who it is
Okay.
after we cut cameras,
Ooh, okay.
because I don't want anyone to know. But the fact that you said that and the fact that I know who my next guest is like flooring me.
Love it.
Yes. And on that note, you've been a treat.
You've been a treat.
This has been fun. I never know what to expect. Again, I'd say 80% of the people that sit there are total strangers when they come into my house. Yes, we had a 15-minute phone conversation. We've been exchanging text messages. But other than that, I don't know shit about you. But you're my people.
You're my people. Thanks for having me.
And you're my people. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch this episode because you're going to love it. And I will see you on the next episode of Barbells and Bourbon. Peace. Spear fingers.